The process begins where flavor is grown, under heat, shade, and time.
Inside each pod is the raw material, still far from chocolate. Before machines, the beans need biology to do its work. Fermentation is controlled decay, where cocoa flavor is made. Turning adds oxygen and keeps fermentation honest across the batch. Fermentation ends, but moisture still has to leave. Drying locks the flavor in place by removing what doesn't belong. Before shipping, the beans are measured because water ruins storage.
Bulk becomes a unit, ready to move without spilling.
From farm handling to logistics, the batch stays together.
The road begins with securement, because vibration finds every weakness.
The beans travel, but their identity stays attached.
Field product meets industrial control at the receiving door.
The first factory step is verification. What arrives must match the record.
Inside the facility, the batch becomes part of a controlled stream.
Every kilogram is tracked because yield and quality depend on it.
The factory takes the batch in, turning sacks into a moving feed.
Raw cocoa is now inside, ready for heat to unlock what fermentation started.
Transport inside the plant is continuous because heat waits on steady feed.
Roasting is measured heat. Too little stays raw, too much turns bitter.
In the drum, flavor is set. Heat stabilizes what fermentation built.
When the beans exit the roaster, the smell tells you the change is real.
Cooling stops the roast, locking the profile before it drifts. The line removes what never belonged before it can damage the machines.
Shells are removed now because chocolate is made from nibs, not husk.
Air and gravity do the sorting. Clean nibs continue forward.
Once the nibs are clean, the goal is simple: turn solid into fluid. Protection is layered because one fragment can ruin a whole run.
Heat and pressure turn nibs into a flowing paste, cocoa liquor.
The factory holds the liquor steady, so refining never starves.
Chocolate is balance, cocoa, sweetness, and milk, brought together by recipe. Before it becomes smooth, chocolate is still a rough composite. Refining makes texture, reducing grit into something that can melt cleanly.
The flakes carry the recipe forward, ready for long mechanical work.
Conching is patience in steel, needing flavor and texture for hours. The long work starts now, where smoothness and aroma are engineered.
The plant's core is repetition. Many machines doing the same careful work.
Clean connections matter,
because chocolate carries every trace forward. Flow is steered quietly, one valve deciding the next hour of product. Filtration is insurance, catching what refining should have already removed.
Before tempering, the chocolate must be stable, smooth, warm, and consistent.
Tempering is controlled crystallization, precision disguised as plumbing.
The chocolate is taught how to set by changing temperature in steps.
A 1-degree change here decides shine, snap, and shelf life.
Once tempered, chocolate can finally take a shape and keep it. The molds are waiting, every cavity ready for an identical fill.
Portioning is precision because every gram changes the bar.
A brief shake removes trapped air, so the bar sets flawless and solid.
Cooling begins the set, turning liquid shine into solid structure.
Tempers proof shows here, set cleanly or not at all.
When the molds come out, the bars should be ready to let go.
Release is mechanical, but it has to feel gentle.
A perfect temper releases clean, no prying, no cracking. The molds go back for reuse, while the bars move on toward finishing. Under harsh light, defects show fast, so they're removed before wrapping. Safety checks don't stop at ingredients. Finished bars are screened too. Weight confirms portioning, because consistency is part of trust. Wrapping starts with alignment, because paper and foil need exact timing. The foil is the barrier, protecting flavor from air and light. The outer wrap carries identity, brand, batch, and promise.
Traceability is the last quiet requirement. Every bar can be traced.
Secondary packaging turns many bars into one shippable unit.
The line converts single pieces into inventory. Fast, repeatable, clean.
Grouping creates efficiency. Shipping units built from retail units.
The bars are finished, but the factory still has to ship them perfectly. A sealed case turns packing into protection, one clean strip holding it together.
Once labeled, the case becomes trackable, ready for the next system to read.
Buffers absorb variation, so upstream never has to pause. Automation needs precision input. Cases must arrive exactly where the robot expects. The grip is soft but certain, turning moving boxes into stable stacks. Pallet patterns are engineered, built for stability, not guesswork.
Each cycle is identical because uniform pallets move safely through the warehouse.
A simple sheet changes friction, keeping layers from walking under vibration. Edges take the hits first, so they're protected before wrap.
Wrapping turns many cases into one load, ready for forklifts and trucks.
Tension is the tool. Tight enough to hold, not enough to crush.
The top is where loads loosen first, so it's wrapped with intent.
With one cut, the pallet becomes a single object, stable and trackable. Storage begins with identification. Every pallet must be readable.
Data follows the load, turning movement into traceable inventory.
The warehouse holds finished goods like a library, each pallet in its slot. The last steps are logistics, moving finished chocolate without breaking the chain of control.
A clean pick protects the load, because damage at this stage is pure waste.
The dock is the final bridge. Everything must cross smoothly.
Placement is measured. An inch here becomes a shift on the highway.
Logistics is repetition, each cycle building a complete load.
A trailer is a moving warehouse, packed like a grid for stability.
The seal is proof, showing the load stayed closed from dock to destination. When it rolls out, the factory's work becomes a journey.
The last scan closes the loop, batch to bar to case to truck.
One site, many rooms, each step linked by flow and discipline. Even after shipping begins, the line continues, because production never stands still. Secondary packaging depends on rhythm. Spacing is everything. The carton protects the bar and creates a unit for retail handling.
Many small units become one shippable case, built by guided motion.
The packaging line repeats, because demand repeats.
Automation scales output without changing the rules of handling. The wrap is the final layer of protection, holding the whole load as one.
Finished chocolate leaves the line in waves, guided by the same disciplined flow.
High-tech systems don't replace the work. They track it with certainty. A clean handoff keeps the whole system moving without stops.
Routing is fast and quiet, steel guiding wood and product with precision.
Automation begins at the edge, where human lanes and machine lanes meet. Once locked, the pallet becomes a moving data point in the warehouse. The warehouse is a machine of lanes, built for predictable motion. Storage adds a vertical step, lifting finished goods into organized space. The system moves heavy loads gently because stability is engineered. Interfaces are where problems happen, so they're built for precision.
Stored means indexed, ready to be found and shipped without delay.
High tech is visibility, knowing where every pallet is
always. The system chooses the path, shipping now or holding for later. Automation delivers to the dock, then humans confirm the final fit.
The last mile inside the building is controlled, so the first mile on the road is safe.
Precision returns at the dock because a trailer is a tight space. Shipping is controlled motion. No sudden moves, no impacts.
A perfect fit prevents shifting. Stability starts before the truck moves.
Securing is the final mechanical promise. Nothing moves unless it's meant to.
When the bay clears, the facility seals the shipment behind the door.
Closing the door is a transition. Production ends, transport begins.
A seal is accountability, proof the load stayed closed. Departure is quiet because the hard work was done inside.
The last scan closes the loop. Inventory becomes shipment.
The ecosystem keeps moving because orders keep arriving.
Finished product looks still, but it's staged for constant motion. Storage is engineered waiting, organized so shipping can happen fast.
Staging is choreography, everything placed before the lift even starts. The rules don't change. Repeatable moves keep product intact. Paper and pallets travel together. One without the other is failure.
Dispatch happens in waves, steady, scheduled, controlled.
The building never stops breathing. Air, steam, and motion, all part of production. Shipping moves product out, but quality still anchors the story inside. Quality doesn't chase problems. It prevents them with proof.
Clean entry protects the data because contamination ruins conclusions.
In the lab, identity comes first. Batch, time, and line must match.
Weight is promise, measured here, not assumed on the line.
Packaging protects the bar. If it fails, freshness fails with it.
Good testing starts with consistent conditions, so results can be trusted.
A clean snap is the signature of proper temper, structure you can hear.
Clean entry protects the data because contamination ruins conclusions.
Bloom is subtle, but customers see it instantly, so the lab hunts it down.
Shelf life can be predicted by measuring what microbes would need to grow.
The recipe is verified by instruments because consistency is measurable.
Controls are proven, not trusted. Challenge tests keep systems honest. Hygiene is verified with swabs because clean lines protect every batch. Some answers take time, so the lab holds them under control.
Retention is memory, proof saved for the life of the product.
Quality doesn't make chocolate. It gives permission to ship it.
The lab signs off. Then the warehouse keeps the promise moving. Once released, the product re-enters the flow, ready for dispatch. Proof completed. The shipment moves, backed by data, not hope.
The final phase is motion and discipline, moving finished chocolate with no margin for error.
A trailer is a tight space, so every move is slow, straight, and planned. A perfect fit prevents shifting. Stability starts before the wheels turn.
Securing is the last internal promise. Nothing moves unless it's meant to.
Clearing the bay is the last safety step before the shipment is sealed. Once the door closes, the facility hands responsibility to transport. A seal is a signature, proof the load stayed closed and correct. The product leaves quietly because the process already did the hard work. The last scan closes the loop, tracking ends where the road begins. Storage is organized, waiting, ready for the next dispatch wave. Dispatch scales up without changing the rules. Discipline stays constant.
The last pallet goes in, completing the shipment.
What you see here is uniform because every earlier step enforced it.
The warehouse is a system, space organized for speed and traceability. The last pallet goes in, completing the shipment. Once sealed, the load is officially in motion.
This is the ecosystem. Many actions, one continuous purpose.
From bean to bar, the site moves as one connected machine.
Finished chocolate becomes freight, counted, protected, and ready.
Storage and shipping share the same rule. Keep everything traceable.
The shipment closes in, built from thousands of controlled decisions.
And this is how modern factories produce chocolate bars from start to finish.
Subscribe for more real factory breakdowns.